her brother.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels live in Detroit. Who would have thought I would have said that, right? Who would have thought that I would be in Detroit? I'd never been to Detroit before in my life, right? This was my first experience there. It's all good. I want to thank you guys for joining this special edition of On Air with Russell of Hotels. You guys know I normally do this on Tuesday. Well, just in case you did not know, well, you know now. I normally do this on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, which that's still the time I'm gonna do it. It's just that this is a special show because I missed the last 2 weeks. Why did I miss the last 2 weeks? You may ask, you may want to know. I was helping my daughter move. That's one thing. So her and I did well, almost a cross country. It seemed like Texas is like, going from, East Coast to West on its own, right? But, or West to East. So she moved to Texas. So we drove between 1,500 and 1,800 miles to where she's going to be living and, help her get settled and all that kind of stuff. So that was a whole week. I was in Texas for a whole week. So it wasn't the right time for me to break away and do a show when, although I will do a live show on location occasionally, but that wasn't the time. So that Tuesday I was in the middle of moving, so I couldn't just say, hey, well, let's stop that because I got to do On Air with Russell Hotels. Well, it's a good thing that it's your show, right? When it's your show, you can make the rules, right? You can bend them if you need to. Okay, and then fast forward to the following week, which was this last Tuesday. I was in Detroit, which I am now, right? But I was in the middle of a show. I was here to do Connect show, right? Connect meeting show here in Detroit. Well, that's what I have to do, and that's what I have to concentrate on doing because, yes, I do. I'm a hospitality, what I call myself, a hospitality personality, but I'm also a hotel site selection company or agency or specialist as well. So, I have to do some work too, right? I have to have appointments and all that kind of stuff, and we're going to get it into a little bit of that stuff, but. Just to let you know, that was the reason why I've been absent for the last 2 weeks. And I tried to, fit everything in, but, time is just only 24 hours in a day, right? And if you're busy doing other stuff, sometimes, those things take precedent over some other things, right? And in this case, my daughter moving took precedence over this show, as well as Connect in Detroit took a little precedence over that as well. But hey, I'm here. And we'll be back on Tuesday because I have a guest on Tuesday. And that's another reason why I wanted to do the show today. Then that way I can start promoting the young lady that's going to be on my show on next Tuesday. All right. So there you go. You got it now. We are live on YouTube. Just in case you did not know, we're live on YouTube. The replay is on LinkedIn because that's just how I want it, I guess. And then we're also a podcast, right? So this is a live hospitality talk show. So this is live on YouTube. So you can see me. You can see what I look like. You can see the backdrop. I'm downtown Chicago. I don't know what the name of this building is, but you see the little skywalk right there. That's kind of cool, right? The little skywalk. Where's my finger? Okay, a little skywalk right there between the buildings. That's kind of cool, especially when it's, snowing outside here in Detroit and, that kind of stuff. So I'm sure that was the reason why. But it's hot as heck down here. At least the last couple of days, it was hot and humid. And just making it from the hotel, which I stayed at the Marriott Renaissance Center in the middle of downtown Detroit, right off of the People Mover. We took the People Mover to and I want to say the Joe Louis Arena, which is the convention center. So we took it there. So, it was interesting just trying to get around the city. I didn't do a lot around the city, and I wish I had time to do more. I should have come in a day early or leave a day later. Then that way I can experience a little more. I wanted to do that Motown Museum, but I was not able. So hopefully one day I can come back and do that and just, be a tourist, right? I was here working, so I wasn't really, being a tourist, per se. But anyway, it was a great city. But we did go to a couple of different restaurants, and I'll talk about that in a couple of minutes as the show progresses. But The restaurants were bomb. They were fire. They took care of my need of non-meat eats. For people that are new to my show and new to this, all about hashtag non-meat eats, which means I do not eat meat. My diet is vegan. Okay, my lifestyle is not vegan, but my diet is vegan. And some people may say, well, how can you be vegan? You can your diet be vegan and your lifestyle not vegan. Well, veganism is a whole thing, right? That's a whole different vibe, right? So I only use the part that I don't eat meat. Okay, now there's other reasons why other people could be vegan. There's other, people don't wear leather shoes and things like that. Well, I haven't gone that far yet. Okay, so and no disrespect for anyone that is 100% vegan, but I just ain't made it there yet. Okay, so but I am working on it. So, but yeah, I'm vegan because of health reasons for the most part. Trying to get that cholesterol down and that high blood pressure numbers down, keep them down, right? So I've been vegan for about 4 years now. So every restaurant I go, no matter the city, I always ask them to prepare something a little different. Maybe on the menu, may not be. And Detroit came through a couple restaurants. I want to say it's Bessa, downtown Detroit. They came through, and I wish I knew the server's name, and I would have definitely given him a shout out. But he explained everything. He just hooked me up. He hooked the brother up. So anyway, so that's it. So yeah, did I mention that? Okay, we're what do you call it? A podcast as well. So it's a live hospitality talk show. So you can see me, right? But if you don't want to see me, you just want to hear my voice, you can after the show's over, I'll upload it onto anywhere you listen to your favorite podcast. You can find On Air with Russell of Hotels. You can just Google On Air with Russell of Hotels, and you'll find the podcast, right? And you'll find all the podcasts. So today is show number 170. So I've done 170 shows, right? So you'll find all of them if you just do that and just pick and choose the one you want to listen to. So, but thank you so much. So you can carry me wherever you want to go. You don't have to sit here and watch me. You can just, I'm going to carry this guy. I want to put him in my pocket, put my ear pods on, and I'm going to walk and talk with this guy. Okay, just to see what the heck is going on. So whatever you want to do, you can do it. So boom, there you go. So, and you always see these hashtags. The hashtags that I always use, hashtag Hospitality Unplugged, which means we talk about the good, the bad, the ugly of hospitality. Hospitality is one of those things, to me, is how you're made to feel. It's not something you get from a building. You get it from person to person. Like if you check in and they greet you with a warm smile and accommodating and then listen to what you're saying and they give you the room that you want. That's hospitality, because you walk away and you get in your room, you're like, wow, this is great. I'm on the, 50th floor and look, and I can see Canada from here, from my room. Whatever that is, that's a feeling of hospitality. Because people get caught up in, well, it's the building. I walked in the building and I felt the hospitality. No, you didn't. You don't feel it from a building. You feel it from people. Okay, so it's that contact, that people to people kind of thing. How you feel, how they make you feel, and how you can make someone else feel. So there you go. So yeah, I'm sitting here rambling, but I wanted to ramble because, people may be listening for the first time or watching for the first time. So I just want to make sure you guys know who the heck I am and why the heck I'm doing what I do. So, and why the special thing on Thursday when normally you do it on Tuesday. Well, now you know, but don't forget, it is every Tuesday, 1:00 PST, okay, Pacific Standard Time. That means it's in California, that's what time it is. And then like in Detroit, which is on whatever it is, East Coast time, I guess, it's like 4:00, right? Oh, no, 4:00. Yeah. I'm just looking at the clock today. Right now it's 3:00 PST, which means it's 6:00 EST. Boom, there you go. So anyway, let's move forward, right? I'm rambling. That's one thing I do, is I ramble a lot. And but that's okay, because I got some good information here. So the reason for the special, I did tell you the special programming today is because I was away. And why was I away? I was at Connect Meetings Detroit, okay? Still in Detroit, but Connect Meetings is history, okay? It's a memory, okay? That was yesterday, all right? It ended yesterday, actually ended last night, if you, depending on, when you got back to your room, right? It could have ended, it could have ended today, depending on when you actually left or got back to your room, because there's a lot of, we had a good time. We'll just say that. Had a good time, reached a lot of people, reconnected with a lot of people, Connected with people I did not know, had tons of appointments. Thank you, Connect, for giving me, where is that at? I had that. I mean, I don't know. I didn't think it was possible to do 50 appointments in one day. But I got through it, right? That wasn't 50, but it was quite a bit. Let me see. You can see I got notes. I'm checking mark people. I got rates, that kind of stuff. Just notes. I mean, there's just little notes here, but I take other notes too. But no, it was manageable. The meetings were 9 minutes apiece, so it's like speed dating, right? So you go from, well, and this is the good thing. It was a reverse trade show, if you will, because normally we're used to doing the traveling, meaning the meeting planners, or in my case, I'm a hotel site selection person, which is kind of the same thing. But normally the hotels and tourism bureaus, they or DMCs or whatever you want to, whatever we call them, DMOs, whatever we call them, destination marketing organizations. They're normally stationary, and we as planners walk around. Well, this time it was the reverse. We sat down, meaning we had tables, 6-foot tables, 2 chairs or 4 chairs, and then the suppliers who we had appointments with, they did the moving, so they had to get their 20,000 steps in, for the last 2 days. So that was good. That was good. I mean, I hated that I didn't get my steps in, but I loved it because I wasn't sweating when I got to my appointments, and I wasn't sprinting from one end to the other, because there's probably 2,000 people there. I mean, it was like a mini IMAX. If you guys have ever done IMAX, and I'm speaking to the hotel people, right? Hotel and tourism people, and other meeting planners. So, but yeah, the IMAX is like 10 to 15,000 people. Well, this was like a mini IMAX, and Detroit did a good job. Connect did a good job. So I do appreciate that, and of course that's why I'm here. That's why you see Visit Detroit. Thank you so much, Visit Detroit, for hosting this. We do appreciate it, and Connect Meetings for allowing us to experience a little bit of Detroit. So there you go. Let's see. I want to give some thank yous. I got to give a couple shout outs before, at least one shout out before I even get to these names, right? Miss Cheryl Rogers. Miss Cheryl Rogers is with Palomar Insurance. She is a planner, and one of my clients, right? So she gets me into all kind of stuff, right? So I wasn't on the list to go to a dinner with Hyatt, right? So she gets me on the list, or we crashed, or she shows up and I crash the party. I don't know however you want to do it, however you want to spin it, but I appreciate that I was still welcomed in, and I was, they appreciated me for coming. Some people actually knew already, like Christian. I knew who he was, Christian Mendoza. I knew who he was, but not really on the intimate thing, but just kind of, I knew who he was, right? And I was pleasantly surprised that he told me that he knew me and he knew about the show, right? He said, "Oh yeah, who doesn't know Russell of Hotels and the show and things like that?" So Christian Mendoza, I appreciate that. I appreciate the warm welcome you gave me when I showed up to your the dinner, or well, it was or appetizers and drinks and things like that. So we were there pretty late, late, 10:30. It's funny how I guess when you get older, you think 10:30 is late. Well, 10:30 is really not late, I guess. But I guess if the morning comes fast for some people, I guess it could be late. But no, we had a good time, drinks and food. They had some non-meat eats. In fact, they probably changed. They did it on the fly, right? So I do appreciate that. Cheryl called ahead and said, "Hey, I'm bringing Russell. He's with Russell of Hotels," and he said, "Oh, I know who he is." And they made it happen. So they had some options for me. So I do appreciate it. Thank you so much, Christian Mendoza. And then several other people were there as well, and I will mention their names. You can see them, but I'm going to mention them. Jose Santillana, and I'm normally good at names, but okay, you see the name there. Jose, he's and I know, and I'm glad Jose was there because he's my new contact over at the Hyatt LAX, okay, which I used to work in that building, right? And when I mean I used to work at the building, I was a director of sales and marketing when that building was a Radisson back in early 2000s. I want to say 2004 to 2006. I was a director of sales and marketing at that hotel before it became a Radisson. Before it became a Hyatt again. Because for people that don't know this little tidbit of information, that hotel was originally a Hyatt. Okay, back in I want to say the 70s. It was one of the first buildings, or one of the first hotels on Century Boulevard, from what I understand. So it was originally built as a Hyatt, and then became other things like a Wyndham, the Concourse Hotel, the Radisson, and then became, I would say, maybe 3-4 years ago, it became a Hyatt Regency, which it is now. And they spend so much money in that thing and gutted a lot of things out. And I mean, that place is it's a show place now. And I love going there. So, and I love to say that I used to work there. I used to be the DOS there. So I love that. So Jose is my contact there. We got Jose Dickey. Joseph Dickey. Thank you so much. And then Mike Larson. Mark Larson, I think, is in Phoenix. Penny Seward. She's in, I think, DC at the Hyatt. So all great people. Thank you so much. I appreciate the love, and just like I said, just allow me to come and crash your party. I do appreciate that. Another thank you and a shout out to Miss Julie Stowe. She's with Cedar Rapids Tourism. Jay Fanta was there, and I mentioned Jay Fanta because he's like director of director of sports tourism, right? So he does all the sports teams that come into Cedar Rapids Tourism, or Cedar Rapids. But he was the only guy there. We were only two guys there, right? We're always outnumbered at these shows, right? So it was good, and we sat next to each other, and he wants to be on the show. So Jay, if you're listening, I'm gonna send you just a kind of thank you for allowing me to come and crash your party once again, and ask you for some dates. Okay, so Tuesdays, it has to be Tuesdays, 1:00 Pacific Standard Time, and we'll work it out. So just let me know what's going to work for you. But Miss Julie Stowe, I do appreciate you for allowing me to, once again, crash the party. And the restaurant you picked was lit. It was, everything was perfect about that restaurant. So we did drinks, we did appetizer, we did dinner and dessert. So we did the whole thing, right? Or she did the whole thing. And when they say Julie, if you're traveling to certain destinations, Julie will find the best restaurants to have a dinner or to entertain clients. And she did not fall short on this. Okay, so thank you again, Julie, and thank you again for she gave me a ticket to take a picture with Gwyneth Paltrow yesterday as well. So thank you so much for that. That was great. That was quite an experience as well. So thank you to Julie Stowe, Cedar Rapids Tourism, and Jay Fanta as well. So thank you guys so much. I do appreciate it. I do not take this stuff lightly. And that's why you're here, right? That's why the names are there, right? That's why the names are there, because I want people to know that I do appreciate you. And that's that whole hospitality thing, right? So there you go. But before I continue, and I forgot this, you guys are more than welcome to make comments. This is because I like to make this interactive. This is an interactive thing, okay? It's not just me talking. If you have questions, if you're there, and you just put your name out there, put your name in the comments or the notes, and I'll give you a shout out. Yeah, that's what I do. So, but I do appreciate that. I do have my notes. The notes come right here on my screen, and I'm able to see them. So I see some people that are there. I don't see who they are, but I know they're there. I can see that you're there in the background. So, but yeah, just so I can give you a quick shout out. So that's the least amount, because I appreciate it. And it's all about interaction. If you have questions, if you have comments, provided they're clean comments, I will definitely, I definitely will mention them on air with Russell of Hotel. Anyway, I don't know why I feel the need to sing, but every now and then I do. So, but as you can see, Visit Detroit, I just want to make sure I'm giving them a shout out, because I do appreciate, it's not easy to host a lot of critics, okay? Because when you do put yourself out there, you're, putting yourself out there for some criticism. I mean, that's just what it is. No matter what city, doesn't matter what destination, people are going to find something But I do appreciate Visit Detroit for doing it here because I'd never been to Detroit before. So I was not going to miss this opportunity to go. I just want to let you know, Visit Detroit, that I was not going to miss the opportunity to go. Did you know my girl Sam is in Detroit? What's Samantha's last name? God, I can't think of Samantha's last name. Man, that's crazy. But anyway, Sam knows who she is. So, and I'm trying to find the gentleman that I met with at Visit Detroit, Brannon. Greg Brannon. So thank you, Greg Brannon. I appreciate you. You came by, and Samantha Scott. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. Sam Scott, Samantha Scott. She's with Visit Detroit as well, but she wasn't there, so maybe that's why I forgot her last name. So, but she was traveling on business, which that's what we do, right? We travel business. But Samantha Scott, thank you so much. Just for being there. People, they love you, and I love you too. I appreciate all that you do for the industry. So, but anyway, I did meet with Greg Brannon. He came by and we talked a little bit. And Miss Rona Hill. Miss Rona Hill made a comment. She said, "Hey Russell, I missed Connect. Was it well attended?" Yes, it was well attended. It was a lot of people there. I want to say about 2,000, if that number serves me correct. It was in a huge space, and I mean booths everywhere. People giving things away, and that's another thing. I mean, you get things, you get gifts. People drop things by, like Chicago brought this by. Some Garrett's popcorn. You can't beat that, right? I normally, when I fly through Chicago, the last thing I do is bring some Garrett's popcorn home. So thank you so much for Chicago for bringing that by. I do appreciate that. And then, there's stuff that people bring by, they want you to remember. But just a little bit of advice: if you are bringing some goodies like this, make sure you put your logo on there. Put a little sticker on there that says, where you're from. Then that way I can give you a shout out, or people will remember where they got it from. Okay, so, and I'm just going through some things that I just happen to have here right in front of me. This is compliments of Visit Naperville. So there you go, Naperville CVB. So they gave out popcorn as well. So that's good. And then there's one more that I have here that I want to show you. This is from obviously from Visit Fort Worth, because it's like nuts, like trail mix, nuts and things like that. No, there's like goldfish. Oh, there are nuts in there. I haven't eaten it yet, so it's not open. So a lot of stuff all the food makes it back. Okay, all the food makes it back home, unless it gets eaten in the airport or on the plane. Okay, so those are things that made the trip back. But I even have a moon pie here, but I don't remember who it was from. I think it was from one thing you learn about these shows is that how passionate people are about their destination, and they want to make sure that you know about their destination, right? So, and I want to say it was Mobile, and I hope I'm being right on this, where the conversation came up about Mardi Gras, and I hope I'm saying this right. Mobile was doing Mardi Gras before New Orleans. Did you guys know that? I did not know that. I did not know that, and I have to do my history. I have to do my research. But and there's a couple people walk by us, and I just kind of just grabbed them and say, "Hey, you know where the first Mardi Gras was?" And these people happen to be from the South. They said, "Oh, it was in," I think, like I said, it was in Alabama, right? It was in Mobile. I'm like, I did not know that. Okay, so I mean, I guess do your history, do your homework. I'm going to look it up. I didn't look it up before this, so I didn't do my fact finding yet. So please forgive me if I'm wrong on that. But she did tell me that, so I'm like, okay, all right, that's something to know. So I think I got that from her. I think I got the moon pie from her, and I don't remember who that was. But anyway, that's okay. But just make sure that when you are giving things away, that you make sure that you put your brand, your logo, if it's a CVB or a DMO or whatever, make sure you put tourism board or hotel. Make sure you put your logo on there, so at least I know, or people know. It's not just about me, but people need to remember, like, oh, I got this from so and so. I got that from. Oh, okay, yeah, that kind of thing. So But yeah, so we met a lot of people. Like I said, I had, I don't know, 50, 60 appointments. Let's just say that. So yeah, so it was great it's great to be back, right? Just to be out there. And I said this earlier, connecting and reconnecting, meeting new people, seeing old people. Some of my favorite people were there that I hadn't seen in years. Tina Zasadi was there. I used to work with her back in the day at Sportsman's Lodge when I was a DOS, then became general manager. She was starting off as a sales manager, and I remember telling her that, you need to move on, right? You need to move on to another and experience things, because she had been at the hotel. She had started there like years. She was there for like 16 years, right? So she started like at the front desk. She knew everything about the hotel, and she got into sales. I said, well, in order for you to grow any more and to make more money, you need to leave this hotel. And it was like kicking and screaming out the door. I say, I'm not telling you you have to, but I'm saying in order for you to grow and reach that potential, you have to leave your comfort zone. And she did. And she's been at two other hotels. Now she's an ADOS. So that's what I'm talking about, right? So I was so happy to see her. And Tina, if you're listening, I'm so proud of her, so proud of you. So continue the good work. And continue the good work. So yeah, so I saw Tina. Who else I see? Let me just Ricky Hopkins, hadn't seen him in a while. Of course, Cheryl was there, hadn't seen her in 3 years because of COVID, right? We talk all the time, but I have not seen her, been in the same building with her. So yeah, so who did I say? Ricky Hopkins, Debbie Vale with Visit Pasadena was there. My girl Veronica from San Diego. I mean, when I saw her, I was like, Veronica, because I see her on LinkedIn a lot, and she does a lot of posting and things like that. I appreciate what she does. Veronica Riviera, okay, Rivera. I didn't say that right. I said Riviera. No, Veronica Rivera. Okay, let me say that right. Okay, respect. Okay, put some respect on that. But anyway, yeah, Veronica. It was great seeing her. And the thing about Veronica, we didn't have an appointment, but she made it a point to come and say hello. And I thought that was just the greatest thing. That's what separates some people from others, right? Veronica made it a point to come and say hello, although we didn't have an appointment. So that's why she's doing what she's doing in San Diego. That's why she's kicking ass and taking names. Okay. So, but there, you can tell I'm an advocate of Veronica, right? I'm an advocate of a lot of people though, right? But anyway, what about Nicole Hankton was there? We'll visit Walnut Creek. Walnut Creek sponsored one of the lunches one day. I saw Nicole. So yeah, Nicole, keep doing what you do. I forget. Sometimes I see Nicole and I'm like, Nicole has her own DMO because, Nicole is, I'm not going to say anyone's bigger than a destination, but there's certain people that are responsible for taking that destination to another level. And Nicole Hankton is one of those people. Would visit Walnut Creek. I'm just saying it. I'm just throwing it out there. There's a lot of people that have done it that have taken some of the smaller, maybe second, third tier city destinations to another level. And Nicole's one of those people. So I just want to, you give them the flowers where they can smell them. Okay. So there you go. I gave Nicole her flowers. Hopefully she smelled them somewhere. Okay. So, oh my God. So anyway, I'm moving on with the show. So the show, normally does it. I'm not on one thing that long for people that are just listening for the first time or watching for the first time. But, I haven't done 2 shows, and I just feel it's necessary to give people, that vibe of Russell of Hotels and what the show is all about, what we talk about. Like I said, the good, the bad, the ugly of hospitality. But yeah, but I appreciate Detroit, and I'm going to continue to say I appreciate Detroit for hosting this. And hopefully one day I'll be able to bring something to your destination. Okay, be intentional. Make decisions and take action on what's important to you. Always remember that. Okay, these are 3 things that I always go over every show. So number 1, be intentional. Make decisions and take action on what's important to you, whatever that is. Only you know what's important to you, right? It's important that I do this show. It's important that I put topics, hospitality topics topics out there, not just for hospitality people, but what about the people that may be interested in hospitality, the people that have meetings that want to use, or just people that travel? I hopefully I give things for a lot of different people, because it's not all hotel or hospitality people that listen or watch the show. 50% of those people are buyers, people that will stay in hotels, people that maybe have questions or don't understand the whole, how you, like, what do we do at trade shows? A lot of people don't realize that. My family, they're like, well, what do you do there? You know what I mean? I see you come back with a bunch of stuff. You must have a good time. Well, we do. Okay. But there is work to be done. People don't see the 50 appointments that you have to, do. They don't see that part, right? Or they don't want to hear that part. They just all they see is like, oh, you come back with all this food, or you've been out, or you had a couple cocktails with, some hotel people or tourism people, whatever. Well, that's part of it, right? It's part of and one thing that people had missed during this whole COVID thing was that interaction, right? That being able to touch and hug people, and oh my God, I so missed you, and oh, it's so great, and anyway, so I'm putting a little bit too much on that, but you know what I'm talking about, right? So, or at least some people do. So yeah, so I want to make sure that I educate people on what's going on within the industry. Like I said, the good, the bad, the ugly. There's more good than anything, but we're always going to have challenges in what we do. And one thing I found out about, Detroit, that whole region, they're having the same issues we're having on the West Coast or in Texas or other parts of the country, where they're having a hard time finding employees too. Employees not coming back to work. So those are things that we're dealing with. These are reality. That's it. So when you travel, and this is for people that are not in this space, the hospitality space. Say that 5 times. Hospitality space. Anyway, they need to know to pack your patience, because hotels are not at full staff. Convention centers may not be at full staff. Restaurants may not be at full staff. We know about the airline situation and all the cancellations and postponements and whatever delays, right? We know about that. So it's the same with hotels. It's the same with restaurants. Some hotels and restaurants or destinations have bounced back better than others, but that is still an issue, and it's an issue in Detroit, in this region too. So I always tell people, and I heard this from somebody, so I keep using it as it's mine, right? Pack your patience. You know how we pack our clothes to go on trips? Pack your patience too. In fact, you may need to take 2 bags to pack your patience, right? 1 bag for your clothes, 2 bags for your patience, okay? Because you're going to get tried on something, right? You're going to come and you're going to be like, I'm up to here with this, but pack your patience, okay? So, help the people out. So do what you can do, right? Okay, number 2, be you. Make sure whatever it is, be you, because no one can take that away from you, right? If you're Joe, like this show, okay, I come on here and yeah, I have a wealth of information, but I'm not that serious. I don't take myself that serious, but that's me, right? You have to show your personality sometimes. If you're selling, don't sell like someone else would sell. Like present your product or your destination. Present it like you would, because you're unique, right? That's you. And be represented, because my representation matters, right? It matters to me that I do this show. It matters to some people that, people that look like me do shows like this or have had this hospitality experience, because, people don't know. They don't know what they don't know, right? They don't know unless I throw it out there, right? There's other people that look like me that that work in hotels. They've worked in maybe hotels a lot longer than I have. They have different experiences, right? But I'm talking about me right now, right? So it's important that, like I said, people look like me. They know that they can do the show. So if we can do the show, I can do the show, anybody can do the show, right? And just ask. If you have questions about how I got started doing this show, or how I got started in social media, how I got started in the hospitality industry, you can feel free to reach out. Russell at russellofhotels.com is my email. You can DM me on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, whatever you want to do. It's too hard not to find my information. Google me, Russell of Hotels, and you'll find all my information. and my website is russellofhotels.com. So yeah, feel free to reach out. And it's funny, this friend of mine, just the other day, he was saying, well, I'll just tell you who it was, Ricky Hopkins. We were at lunch or dinner, breaking bread, having a couple pops, adult beverages, and he said, it's surprising that, and he said, people are smarter than what I think, smarter than what I thought. There's some people that during this COVID thing, you find out that they have other skill sets. They can do other things than just, what I know them for. And he was talking about me, right? And I was like, and we're having a conversation. It was him, myself, and Cheryl Rogers, right? So, and like, what are you talking about? Like you, I didn't know that you even knew how to do a podcast or how to even start one, and it just made me think, there's a lot of people that they may have an interest in certain things, but they don't know how to start, right? But I started with doing research, right? I did research on it. It all started with, I was a guest on someone else's show that thought I was a marketing agency because I posted a video of the Sheraton in San Gabriel, California, which is right outside of downtown Los Angeles. And a gentleman by the name of Craig Sullivan, who has a show, a podcast called Check Out California. And he found me and basically called me and said, hey, you're a marketing agency? I said, well, no, I'm just Russell. I don't think I was Russell of Hotels. Yeah, it probably was, but not like I am now, right? And he invited me to come on the show because he liked what he saw on the video and my experience that we talked about. So he invited me on the show, and then as I'm coming back from that his show, I started thinking, like, what can I do to take my brand to another level or take myself to another level? And that was it. It was this, doing an on-air show with Russell of Hotels. So I called and told him what I was doing. He said, oh, that sounds great. You should do it. So I did it. So I did my research. I found a place to do it, and now I do it remote. So it doesn't matter where I am now. So I do it remote. But back in the day when I first started, I was doing it at a internet radio station. Okay, it's called LA Talk Radio in Van Nuys or Sherman Oaks, California, which is in the Valley section of LA County. So, but yeah, I started doing it there. But I had to figure it out, right? I had to ask a lot of questions. I'd spend a lot of time Googling things, and I happened to find this place. It was a turnkey operation. You had to pay money. You just showed up. It was like a studio with headsets and microphones and in a room and all this kind of stuff. It was green screen, all that stuff. But I figured things out from there, and I do my own thing now, right? So I was there I did 90 shows with them. Now I'm at 160, right? 170, excuse me. So yeah. And then did you know what the average length of a podcast only goes 6 episodes? Okay, so just there's probably over 1 million podcasts out there, but the average length is 6, meaning there may be 1 million, but they're not all active. So people think, oh, there's so many podcasts out there, who's going to listen to me? Don't think like that, because I don't. I can care less. There's tons out there. There's other hospitality talk shows, but that doesn't stop me, because what's the difference between my show and someone else? Me, right? I'm the difference, right? So you're the difference in your hotel. People buy you before they buy the hotel or the destination that you're working at. Okay, so the brand starts with you. Okay, you're the brand. You're the brand that happens to be working for a brand. Okay, so just remember that. Okay, boom, boy, I'm on something today, right? Woo! Calm me down. Anyway, real quick, how to buy. Did I finish what I was doing? Did I finish that, or I just keep going? Oh, yeah, okay, I did. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get ahead of myself. So, how to buy a hotel. Something I talk about every week. Miss Davon Reeves. When I say someone's on fire, someone's lit, someone's just, kicking ass and taking names, Davon Reeves is doing it. She owns 3 hotels, okay? She's a lady that's like 35 years old. She's figured it out. She wrote a book. I have the book. That's not just a copy. I have the book right here. I'm not going to show you because I have to move some stuff, but it's right here. She wrote a book, and she gives these tips, like 3 tips to buying a hotel. Location, location, location. So location matters, right? Is it near traffic generators? What's a traffic generator? Like, is it near major freeways? Is it near amusement parks, business park, whatever? because that determines if there's enough flow of traffic, right, to your place, near the airport, all these kind of things matter. Is it near the river? Is it near the beach? That kind of thing. So the brand matters too. So number two, the brand. People like name recognition. So if that's, Choice Hotels, Wyndham, Marriott, Hilton. I mean, people know those names. Not saying you couldn't have the Russell Hotels, but you need to make sure you're doing a lot of promotion so people know that you're there. Why do people use like name brands like Marriott, Hilton, Wyndham? Because there's a lot of name recognition that follows them. They've been around a long time, and people look at it as a trusted brand, right? So that's why people will do the franchise route, and say, okay, I'll just sign on with them to do this particular hotel, whatever. And then hiring the right operator. Do you want to operate it yourself, or do you want to get a management company to do it? There's tons of management companies out there, but it's not one management company fits all, right? So you want to do your research on that. So all this stuff is highlighted in her book. So check it out. It's on Amazon. Wherever you find your favorite book, How to Buy a Hotel, a Roadmap to Hotel Ownership. No one else has a book out there like this, okay? So when I say somebody's fire, and I keep saying this, but kicking ass and taking names, I love that term. Davon Reeves is there, right? And the thing of it is, no one's asked me to say this stuff on here. Davon Reeves didn't ask me to plug her book. No, I just think it's important that people know that these opportunities are out there, to not just maybe buy one, but to invest in hotels. And we don't know how to do that. So this is a blueprint to that. So check it out. And we thank you, Davon. Who is your best advocate? I ask this all the time. And hold on one second. I need to take a drink of water. Thank you so much. And I mute myself so I don't want you guys to hear me swallow. Okay, so sorry about that. Excuse me. So who is your best brand advocate? Well, I'm gonna give you a second to think about that. You are. Okay, so if you're like thinking, oh, I think my mom is. No, it's you. Okay. It's you. Okay, so if you don't have confidence in what you're doing, if you're not excited about what you do, who's going to be excited? So people need to know what you do. People need to see that excitement and enthusiasm. So if I worked for Visit Detroit, I would be excited as heck. Okay, and I'm using Detroit because I'm here and because there's a logo right there next to me. Okay, right there. Okay, all right. So you see it. So that's why I'm saying that. So you need to be excited. You be excited about your brand, your personal brand. So I'm excited about being Russell, right? But I'm also excited about Russell of Hotels, or On Air with Russell of Hotels. I'm excited about it. I tell people about it. I try not to, overwhelm people with a lot of stuff. Like during my appointments, I'm not there saying that, hey, listen to my talk show, that kind of thing. No, but it did come up in conversation a couple of times because people knew about it. So if someone leads you in that area, then okay, of course you're gonna, talk about it a little bit, because that goes with people, especially people that don't know you, when you're doing your intros for your appointments. They'll ask you like, hey, well, tell me a little bit about you. What do you do? What did you do during the pandemic? What happened? And I told them all the things I did during the pandemic, reminding that you got 9 minutes to get all this stuff out, right? And you got to learn about them too, right? Them and their, the property or their destination or whatever. So you can do it in 9 minutes. It's amazing how much information you can find out in 9 minutes about somebody. Okay, but you're your best brand advocate. It starts with you. If you're not excited about it, no one else will be. Okay, so just remember that. What am I saying? Increase social media engagement. You guys know I'm a big proponent of social media. If it wasn't for social media, you would not know who the heck Russell of Hotels was. And I don't know why this is over my head like that, but can I move it up a little bit? But yeah, so increase social media engagement. Number one is consistency. Make sure you are consistent in what your message is. Number two is value. Make sure you're adding some value to someone. Like, like I said, this is really bothering me that was it always like this? Was it always on top of me? I don't know, but it's really kind of bothered me. So, but one good thing about this program, this platform I'm using, and this is for the people that can see me, the increased social engagement, it pops up on my screen, right? So this is for the people on the podcast, and it was covering up the top of my head, and it was bothering me. So I'm actually moving it around, which is the good thing about this Ecamm live platform where you can move things like that while you're talking, right? So I moved it around so it's not on my head anymore. So, but yeah, increase social media engagement, be consistent, meaning you got to do it more than one time. You got to continue to do it. You got to buy in. You got to be all in, right? You can't be a little bit in, just like you can't be a little bit pregnant. Either you're pregnant or you're not, okay? You got to be all in. Social media is the same thing. Social media is like pregnancy. Either you are or you're not, okay? So go in, be 100%, okay? Post as much as you can. Whatever that is, just stick to the schedule. So if that's once a week, stick to the schedule. That's twice, 3 times. I happen to post on social media platforms probably at least 3 times a day, if not more, okay? But different platforms, but I do it because I'm all in, right? I have to do it in order to get my name across to people worldwide. It's not just limited to United States or Los Angeles or Detroit in this case. It's everywhere, right? But I have to be consistent in order to reach those people. So yeah, but add value, making sure there's value, people resonate with what you're talking about. Of course, I appeal to people that are hospitality related because I come from that space, but I also appeal to people that are looking for things. Maybe they're looking for a job in hospitality. Maybe they didn't know anything about it. Maybe it's a new career, right? Or people that actually need hotels or tourism and they don't understand the whole process. Maybe they plan group meetings for their business or their company and they don't know where to start. Well, I'm a resource for that. So feel free, and I always say this, feel free to contact me. I wish more people would contact me. And because if I don't know something, I'll definitely find it out, but you'd be surprised a little, what I know. You'd be surprised that I know a lot about this industry. And be authentic. Be you, okay? Don't try to be someone else. Be us. People say, be your authentic self. Don't be someone else. Be you. Be real. Don't be fake, okay? Anything I post is real, okay? It's not, I wish, I'm there. I'm in front of this car, No, I got a Toyota, okay? So if you see me in front of a Toyota, that's my car, all right? All right, you ain't gonna see me. You see me in front of a Lamborghini, that ain't my car, okay? I'm telling you now. It's someone else's car. I'm just flossing, okay? So, and a lot of people do that, but a lot of people get taken in by that, like, oh my God, you see Russell in front of that Maserati or that Ferrari, that Lamborghini? Oh my God, he's really rolling. No, Russell is peeing on your head and saying it's raining, is what he's doing. Because that's not me, right? So you're never going to see me, like I said, you guys heard that term before? That's a Southern term. But anyway, so if you see me post anything, if I'm in Detroit, if I say I'm in Detroit, I'm in Detroit, or at least I've been there, right? So just remember that you got to be true to yourself because people will see that. And people don't want to do business with people they don't trust, or they're just throwing stuff out there willy-nilly and just, trying to floss. People, I'm serious. People have gotten wise to the whole social media game, right? So be serious about it, be consistent, add value to somebody, and be authentic. Be you. Reels. Okay. Increase social media engagement. So now that you know all those 3 things, the consistency, value, being authentic, what are some tools that you use to do all those 3 things? I'm just going to start with these 2 things, right? I use IG Reels, Instagram Reels, right? So it pairs music with videos. And if you find the trending sounds, even there's voices like audio. It's not singing. It's just voice, sometimes that can be trending, right? So if you find that and you pair that with a video, you're likely to get a lot more engagement, meaning it's going to hit more people and people are going to, comment more. And once you get the comments, that's what you want. You want to continue that conversation if you can. So I use reels and I do lives, right? So during the trade show, the last 2 days, I was doing a live. Cheryl and myself, who is all about the experiences, Cheryl Rogers, we did a live on Wednesday afternoon. She was in one part of the convention center, I was in the other, and we were doing a live. So we're talking about what's going on. She asked me some great questions. So check it out. I think it's on LinkedIn. Check it on LinkedIn, my LinkedIn page, Russell of Hotels, and this will be on there as well. This show will be there on there as well. But look at a lot of stuff that I post, either on Instagram. Oh, I'm sorry, that was on Instagram. So the live that we did were live on Instagram. So check it out at Russell of Hotels. That's my IG page. So check that out as well. Who's hiring? And I normally go like a whole list of who's hiring here in LA, and I can't see what the heck I'm doing, but I'm only going to do this one because I had this conversation with this gentleman the other day. He's a general manager, Mike Giangrosso. He's at the Hyatt place, or he's hiring for a director of operations. Let me just move this out of my face. He's hiring for a director of operations at the Hyatt place in College Station, Texas. Okay, anyone who knows College Station, that's where Texas A&M University is. So I would guess that's a busy hotel, especially during football season. But he's looking for a director of ops. So if you know anyone, if you're interested, Mike Giangrosso, you can contact me, Russell at russellofhotels.com. Send me your resume and I'll send it on to him. Okay, he's a friend of mine, right? So like I said, I'm here to help. So I was having a conversation with him, and he said he was looking for a director of ops. So I said, hey, I'll throw it out there to my network. So that's what I'm doing. So once again, Hyatt Place, College Station, which is outside near Texas A&M University. They're looking for a director of operations. Mike Giangrosso is the general manager, and I'm here to help. So just reach out to me, and I'll make sure the information gets to Mike. What I do, I'm a hospitality professional. I'm a brand show-off, meaning one of my jobs is to show off your brand, right? So if that's let's say it's the Marriott Renaissance Center in Detroit, my job is to show off that brand for you. If you don't know how to do it, I can do it for you, right? So I do social media postings and things like that. Content creating is what it's called. So I do that, and that's what I mean by brand show off. What does that mean? Your brand show off. Well, content creating. So anytime people put anything on social media, that's content that you're creating for that particular brand. So those are things that I do for tourism boards. Of course, I do it for myself because you see it all over. But I do it for tourism boards, hotels. You would know the ones that I do because I don't put Russell of Hotels at the end of everything, right? So you would know that. But I do a lot for hotel brands, hospitality brands, restaurants, all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested, reach out. And then I'm all about hotels, tourism, and hashtag non-meat eats, which means, of course, I mentioned earlier, I don't eat meat. So I go to restaurants and I'm looking for something that's non-meat, non-dairy, no eggs, any of that stuff. So that's what I do. And last night I was at Andiamo's, which is at the bottom of the Marriott Renaissance Center. And the chef, I told the server, and the chef made a risotto with because normally it has like either milk or cream, some type of dairy, but he made it with coconut milk. So I'm like, I'm over the moon, right? It was fire. It was good. I'm like, wow. You'd be amazed if you just ask, and if it's a good server, and she was a good server, right? And she went and talked to the chef personally, you would be amazed what you can get, okay? And how creative a good chef can be, okay? So chefs, if you're out there, make sure you're sharpening your skills on non-meat eats, because you never know, Russell of Hotels may be there. So there you go. But no, I appreciate Andiamo's. Food was good. It was great. Everyone enjoyed whatever they were eating. But yeah, It's all good. Another thing I do is hotel site selection. That's why I'm here or was here for Connect, because my job is I have clients that are either companies, organizations, they look for me to, give them resources for hotels or tourism boards or destinations or convention centers. So, I guess my opinion matters to somebody, right? So, just my job is to find that site for them that meets their budget, that's within that destination where they want to be. I do the sourcing for them. They don't have to do any of that stuff. Contract negotiation, pricing, all that kind of stuff. I'm here to help, right? So there you go. And then other thing that I do, I'm a show producer. I mean, I produce this show, of course, on air with Russell of Hotels. I also produce another podcast as well. And just in case you did not know that, there's three things over here on the side of me. It's to the left of my screen, maybe it's to the right of yours. 100 most powerful people in U.S. hospitality 2022, top 30 podcasts for hospitality 2021, top 25 social media influencers in the world. This is globally for 2021. This was given to me from the International Hospitality Institute. All three of these things, I do appreciate it. The distinction, the being honored, all that kind of stuff. So if you didn't know, now you know. Okay, so I can't put that stuff here unless it came from them. Okay, so there you go. So I do appreciate them for for the honor, for that, that respect, and then put that spect on it. I'm joking, but no, I do appreciate that. I don't take that lightly. So I'm always going to talk about it if it, especially on the show, right? I'm always at least mention it. So there you go, because I'm proud of that stuff. Because hey, you bust your butt for certain things. If you get some type of recognition, you need to, own it, and thank people for it. And I do thank them every opportunity that I get. So thank you. Contact information, if you want to reach me, Russell@russellofhotels.com is my email address. So please reach out and touch. Anyway. Follow me on LinkedIn, IG, YouTube, Twitter. LinkedIn is Russell Edmond and Russell of Hotels. And then IG, YouTube, and Twitter are all at Russell of Hotels. So reach out. And if you have any questions, you can DM me, instant message me, whatever. Call me. And my phone number is actually on my website. So russellofhotels.com. If you want to call, reach out and just call me. Nothing wrong with that. Number one, first, what am I saying? Something to ask yourself. One thing to ask yourself. This is the thing you should always, I mention this every week. Again, I don't know why I'm surprised to see it here, but yeah, one thing to ask yourself. What are you doing to keep your brand relevant? What are you doing to keep your brand relevant? All the people that were at Connect, what are you doing to keep your brand relevant? And remember that the brand is not necessarily the brand that you work for. It's you. It starts with you. Do you have a Instagram page? Are you doing things? Are you posting things? Regardless of the reason why you have those pages, but do you keep yourself relevant? But if you represent a business like, let's say, Visit Detroit, you should be promoting what you do. And it all starts with you, right? I'm Russell Edmond. I work for Russell of Hotels, right? So I want to make sure I'm promoting it so people know what the heck I do. So if I was with Visit Detroit, I would be, hey, I'm Russell Visit Detroit. And this is what I do. I'll be showing things about Detroit around the destination. Me here, me on that sky bridge right there, jumping off or something like that. No, I'm just joking. But, things like that. You have to do that. You have to be consistent. You have to add value, right? And be you. So show that side of you, that personality that you have, because no two people have that personality, right? So there you go. So just ask yourself those things. This is a quote, and I've been sharing quotes with people the last couple weeks. Well, I guess not the last 2 weeks because I haven't had the show the last 2 weeks. But this is one I didn't get to. And these are quotes that I came up with. These are Russell of Hotels quotes, right? So, yeah, I can do that. I can be deep sometimes. But a hotel brand advocate, a guest, client, or employee of a hotel who proactively shares info about your hotel to their networks via social media, word of mouth, email, or through content without any incentive other than their love for your brand. Don't we all want people like that? People that will do things that we don't have to pay. You know what I mean? Of course, we can have people. You can pay me. I can do things for you, but there's always a certain amount of things that we can do on our own, and that goes back to what I just said. What are you doing for your brand, right? Are you posting things out there? Do you have advocates? One thing about hotel people or hotels, because I've worked in hotels, 14 different hotels over 25 years. Started off as a housekeeping manager, went to director of sales and marketing, and been a general manager. Okay, so I know, right? So one thing that I know, we get a lot of information about people, right? But we don't use that. We don't use that information. We know every guest has ever stayed with us, right? But do we use that information? Do we have guests that would do something, that would maybe post things on their social media for us, or maybe they will want to do a live with you, that they only do it because they love coming to your hotel. They've been staying there for years because their business or their company may be across the street from their hotel, right? And it's been convenient. You guys have been great to me. And yes, I'll do anything. What do you want me to do? So if you can find those people, that's gold. Those are diamonds, right? So find those people that they come there because they love your brand. They love that particular hotel, right? So you got to find those people because they're there, but we don't utilize them. And there's no rule that says you can't talk to people, and if they don't want to do it, they don't have to do it, right? But you have to ask, right? That's part of selling, right? We go to people and we ask them, we try to persuade them to utilize our hotel. Well, guess what? They're already at your hotel. You're just asking them to maybe take it a step further and be an advocate for your hotel. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing at all. So, just that's thinking outside the box, okay? That's outside the lake, and we're in the ocean. You know what I mean? So I just pulled that one out. You heard that, right? So let's see. Okay, we're winding down here. 3 P's. Purpose. Know why you do what you do, okay? I know why I do this show. Like I said, I want to reach people. Every now and then, in fact, next week I have a guest, and there's no two people that got in this industry alike, right? Everyone came in a different door. Some people may come in the front door, some maybe people came in the side door, and some came through the back door. But we're all here, right? Some people went to college, some people didn't. Some people started off as bellmen and rose to general managers and VPs, and some people went to college and maybe they achieved the same thing, but they came a different route. So there's no people that came in this industry alike. So I make sure I bring those people on and we talk about their stories. So that's the one reason why I do. That's one of the purposes of why I do. And I have a young lady coming on next week that her story is unique as well. She is food and beverage. She's a chef, right? A chef and a hospitality educator, right? I never had a chef on the show. So we're going to ask some questions, right, about food and all that kind of stuff, food and safety and food safety and stuff like that, handling food. I mean, all that stuff is important that we don't think about. Everybody doesn't think about that stuff. But we're going to have her on. We're going to see how she got in this industry because, like I said, no two people got in the industry alike. So either, like I said, that's the purpose of why I do the show, so I can bring people on. I can educate you about different things. Passion. Either you have it or you don't. If you don't think I have passion for what I do, you ain't paying attention, okay? So have passion for what you do. And if you don't have that passion, just do something else. Do something that you are passionate about, okay? And perseverance. Be consistent, continue to evolve, don't give up, and swerve when you need to. Russell of Hotels, he swerves. He doesn't pivot. Everyone's pivoting, right? But not many people are swerving. Pivot is like you're in the crap already, and you're like, okay, what do I do now? Swerving, you see the crap in the distance, and you swerve around it to miss it, okay? That's the difference between what Russell of Hotels does and what maybe some other people do, right? I swerve, other people pivot, okay? Peace. But anyway, my next guest is Miss Tasha Jackson. Follow her on Instagram at Hospitality Hacks Pro. She always has some good information about restaurants and safety and things like that, service levels, things like that. So we're going to get into it with her next Tuesday, August 16th. So we're going to get into it with her. That should be a great show. I happened to meet her I was doing a live, right? I told you one of the things that I do are lives, just an impromptu live, and she was there. and I had her come on the live, and we just talked about what she did. She's in North Carolina, I believe, and we talked about some of the stuff she did. She's heavy food and beverage, right? So I'm not heavy food and beverage. I have somewhat of a food and beverage background. I have enough to be dangerous, okay? But food and beverage was never my forte, other than I love to eat, okay? But she has a different spin on things. You guys need to listen to it. It's going to be fire. So that's going to be next Tuesday, August 16th, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, okay, on air with Russell of Hotels. So that's next week. We're going to have Miss Tasha Jackson. So look for more promo on that. But that's going to be it. I appreciate it. I know I went like 7 minutes over, but hey, it's my show. Sometimes it happens, right? So thank you so much for joining. And thank you again, Visit Detroit, for being a great host for Connect. I do appreciate it. And hopefully I'll be able to come back sometime soon and do the Motown Museum, because if you see the postings that I did on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, I linked all my reels with some type of Motown song, because I think the influence of Motown is not just in Detroit, but that's everywhere. That's within the world, right? So that type of music has reached everybody, right? So Detroit, they started at the Motor City, GM, all those cars and vehicles and trucks and everything came from there. So there's a lot of history there. So basically what I'm trying to say. So it's a destination that needs to be visited, and the history, it needs to continue to be talked about. So Visit Detroit. Thank you so much. Connect meetings. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to come. That was my first Connect too. I don't know if you guys knew that, but that was my first Connect, and it definitely won't be my last. So that's it. Thank you so much for joining On Air with Russell Hotels. You guys have a great day, great week. Peace.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.